big controversy now is the P. Diddy and
TD Jakes.
TD Jakes. Yeah. Last time I talked to you, you called the man TD Fake.
I call him
Or
TD
Snake.
That's what I
You
call
call him TD Snake?
Yes, I do.
Why you call him man that?
If you know anything about the
This is the third time the community Crossfire gets to interview Pastor Gino Jennings, and the first time Pastor Gino Jennings grants an interview in the year 2024 to explain and answer to matters that are making rounds in the Christendom, and especially things that are disturbing the Christian faith. In this particular video, Pastor Gino Jennings gets to answer why he constantly called Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes Bishop Thomas T.D. Snake instead of Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes. Now, the host, who is by the name called Norman Oliver, wanted to know if Pastor Gino Jennings is deliberately mocking Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes, or does he have any biblical reference to that particular kind of name he calls Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes? Watch, subscribe, like, and put me on the bell notification icon.
Point of view, I'm your host, Norman Oliver. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching JV. I've had my sister host the show. She's been like freshman at JV on varsity. She's in here, I let her do it. So look, I got my main man, Pastor, the main man, Gino Jennings. So this is like, now this, that's pretty cool. We got like a little audience. So this is like the trilogy, right? Like the Thriller in Manila.
Yeah.
Right? Because we did the first one, second
Yes,
one, this the third one, right?
Yes, sir.
So look, before I get into that, I'll be saying like, man, can you hold your hands? Did you box or something?
Oh, yes. You can't live in the hood without holding your hands.
Well, did you take up boxing?
No, I mean, boxing just come natural
Oh yeah.
because all of my brothers was very good with their hands.
Okay.
So I boxed some, did mixed martial arts some.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes, I did. In fact, I trained as mixed martial arts for about 10 years,
Wow.
when I was younger.
So like that tells me why when people come on stage, you say, "Get him out of here!" No, you ain't ready. You ain't worried about him coming back at you.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about that. I mean, we're not about violence in the church, but you come to church, you know how to conduct yourself, right?
So the big controversy now is the P. Diddy and
TD Jakes.
TD Jakes. Last time I talked to you, you called the man TD Fake.
I call him
Or
TD
Snake.
Snake. That's what I
You
call
call him TD Snake?
Yes, I do.
Why you call the man that?
If you know anything about the scriptures, the Bible said about the serpent, the snake is more subtle than any beast of the field. And when you try to weave in some type of false teaching and try to make it justify you being subtle in your objective. So T.D. Jakes says that homosexuality and church can coexist. He don't see nothing wrong with it. He says he's evolving.
Right.
Now, there is no man of God in the history of the Bible that would have evolved to same-sex marriages.
Okay.
None.
Not in the church.
Not in the church.
Okay.
Not in the scriptures. Not for real.
Okay.
Not a real man.
Okay.
If he's not.
So anytime people will watch Pastor Gino Jennings preach and then refers to Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes as Bishop Thomas T.D. Snake, people often tends to think that it is a way of mocking him. It is a way of trying to bring the man of God down or trying to degrade Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes. So this was actually a beautiful opportunity where Pastor Gino Jennings gets to explain that when he calls Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes Bishop Thomas T.D. Snake, it is not an occasion to mock the man of God, but rather to classify him as a bishop that is so wise or a bishop that is so intelligent or cunning that if you are not so much into word of knowledge, or if you are not someone who can truly activate the spirit of discernment, you won't be able to know that Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes is actually lying. Now, in the Bible, we see that in the book of Genesis, the Bible describes the snake in the book of Genesis as one of the most subtle animals among all that God was created. And even Peter has said that be wise as snake. And so the moment a person begins to call someone as a snake, sometimes it is not more of mocking the person, it's not more of degrading the person, it's not more of trying to bring the person down, but rather it is It is a word to describe how smart, how intelligent or wise the other person can be. So in this particular interview, Pastor Gino Jennings makes it clear that the reason as to why he calls Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes Bishop Thomas T.D. Snake is that biblically the Bible speaks of how the snake in the Bible was more subtle, in other words, was more wise, was more intelligent or knowledgeable than the rest of the animals. So as you listen to Pastor Gino Jennings, he made it clear that this is not just a way of mocking Bishop Thomas T.D. Jakes. See, just because everybody is aware that the ministry of Pastor Gino Jennings is more of declaring the unadulterated word of God, the uncompromising word of God, to declare the uncontaminated word of God comes with a lot of criticism, it comes with a lot of abuse, it comes with a lot of many opinions from men and women. And so when Pastor Gino Jennings begins to preach the truth, which is the truth of the gospel to the world, definitely you will see him having one or two banter with different kind of ministers, which is equally okay. Because in the Christendom now there are ministers who are friends to each others, and there are other ministers also who are equally friends to other people. So we live in a generation where if a pastor consistently condemns a minister you are close to, a minister who is your friend, a minister whom you see as a ministry friend and a brother that you labor together in God's vineyard, you cannot easily, speak against the same person you call as a friend in the ministry. So usually in the ministry now, or in the Christendom, there is division within the Christendom. There are pastors that relate to each other, and there are pastors that do not relate to each other. So it is the same thing happening here. So once you begin to release or speak something that goes against a minister they relate with, a minister they have a cordial relationship with, at a certain point they begin to have nothing to do with you or distance themselves from you because you are always attacking his or her fellow minister friend. You see, so this is exactly what is happening. So this was how Pastor Gino Jennings got to answer his question to the host, who is called the Norman Oliver, who is usually the host leading program of the community Crossfire. And this was the third time they were interviewing Pastor Gino Jennings. We saw about the first program, we saw about the second interview, which was almost 2 years ago, and this happens to be the third interview between them and Pastor Gino Jennings. It was more of Pastor Gino Jennings reacting to matters that are making rounds in the Christendom, or Pastor Gino Jennings explaining matters or issues that are disturbing to the Christian faith. You and I know that in the days we live in, the Christian circles are always full of problems. Within the Christian circles are always full of issues here and there, troubles here and there. So it is one particular thing that happens in the Christian community that Pastor Gino Jennings had come to explain more and more to that. Now, there are other episodes of this particular interview, but because of copyright kind of issues, we cannot play all to you. So what we will be doing is that we will be bringing the excerpt of the interview of Pastor Gino Jennings between or with the community Crossfire hosted by Norman Oliver. Now, let us just let's bring the matter into a conclusion to this particular sector, and then see you again in my next episode. This is Abelglobalprayers. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and then put me on the bell notification icon for more. Stay always blessed and anointed. Shalom. Peace.